So yeah, remember a couple weeks ago when I talked about that fake bleach manspreading thing going on in Russia? And people were like, no, it's totally real. The whole thing is real. It's nothing but real. No, it's fake. The whole thing was staged. I mean, I pointed out that it was fake. I pointed out that it was staged, but nobody wanted to believe that it was fake. They wanted to believe that it was real. And again, it goes back to the concept of like viral videos. And if it goes against a person that you hate or an ideology that you hate, you kind of look at it from a different perspective. I'm sorry. I think that's the way we've been conditioned at this point. But yeah, this thing was apparently staged. Now, last month, shocking footage of a woman allegedly dumping water mixed with bleach into men's laps on public transport went viral. Russian activist Anna Dovgalyuk, I'm going to just butcher that, 20 years old, said she was waging a war on men guilty of manspreading, aka spreading their legs and taking up too much space on the buses and trains. The story was posted far and wide with other outlets around the world covering the bizarre story. The only trouble is it was totally fake. And I don't understand how more outlets were not covering it as being fake. I don't understand how you can sit there and like look at just this image right here, and go, yeah, no, that's totally real, right? There's no way, because look you've got the 3 empty seats right next to the guy. What does she care if he's asleep? What does she care if he's passed out? By the way, he's wearing a backpack. And everything about that felt staged. But the whole point is there's open seating next to him. What does she care? Right? That's not waging a war on men during a time when the subway needs the seats and he's taking up space. That's, again, just the whole thing was fucking fake. And no one out there wanted to believe it. No, go read the comments on the other video. People were like, no, it's real. Like, how can you say it's fake? Logic, motherfucker. Like, that's how I know that it's fake. Anyway, according to EU versus Disinfo, an organization set up to expose Kremlin propaganda, Stanislav Kurdin, one of the men in the recording, was actually paid to act as a victim. Oh, snap. We got some George Soros shit going on here. Or President Trump announcing he was running for president. Remember that whole scene, the whole golden escalator going down? He paid $12,000 to have all the people standing there, everyone there cheering him on, $50 a head, in order to make it look like people cared he was running for president back in 2015. I'm saying this kind of crap happens all the time. Paid actors are at these kind of events, these kind of things are not uncommon. Now, in a post on his Facebook page, Kurdny says he was naturally staged, adding that feeling when you come to the shoot with 2 pairs of pants and leave with a salary. The group's website claimed that the video was designed to provoke a backlash against feminism and further social division in Western companies. And that, Ashley, right there we go. That is, I think, the statement of the damn century right there. The group's website claimed the video was designed to provoke a backlash against feminism and further social division in Western countries. Now, when I go back to the other video I made and I called it out as being fake, people didn't want to believe it. And I think that right there is part of the reason why. They want confirmation bias that feminism is cancer. Don't get me wrong. I'm no fan of feminism. I don't think it's done much good in the past fucking 40 years. But I do think this is remarkably true. I think that it's all about trying to further undermine feminism and social division in Western countries, because people tend to believe what they see without asking lots of questions. And that is a problem. But again, people believed it was real. Now, it claims the video stages extreme feminist activism and manages to provoke extreme anti-feminist reactions. Not to say I haven't probably fallen prey to those kind of things myself, to be honest with you. I probably have. The video and its reactions also echo negative messages about feminism, the MeToo movement, and political correctness in the West, which Russian state television has repeatedly delivered. Jeez. How does it feel to be played by the Russians? I mean, this is legitimate. This isn't like they might have gone into Twitter or Facebook. No. This was legitimately a viral move in order to fuck with the West and have it be done by the Russians. The Russians fucking with the left. All right. Like it's just, this is one of those real things. That's funny. Actually, that's pretty funny to me. In the videos initially posed, Anna approached men on the Russian subway in St. Petersburg, dumped a water bottle full of liquid on them, and then did a runner. Men demonstrating their alpha manhood in the subway with women and children around deserve contempt, she said in the subsequent video. The solution is 30 times more concentrated than the mixture used by housewives when doing laundry. She warned in the initial video, it eats colors in the fabric in a matter of minutes, leaving indelible stains. Like I said, this is, the guy brought 2 pairs of pants and left with his paycheck, right? Because one was wet, he had to change because there was no bleach in those water bottles. She said the bleach spots were also identification spots to immediately understand which body part controls the behavior of these men, adding, I don't think people are going to go to the police to file a report about jeans. Now that always kind of stuck out to me, right? Just that in particular, that line about to immediately understand which body part controls the behavior of these men. That does feel like the type of feminist rhetoric you would see coming out of a place like Berkeley. It's the kind of rhetoric you would see coming out of the depths of Twitter and social media, which is probably one of the reasons why people ate it the fuck up, because they ate it up. They're like, oh yeah, that's exactly what they were saying. Like, that's the whole point. That's what they're looking at. They're looking at that from that perspective, but it's right. It's anyway. The purported feminist activist said she was acting on behalf of everyone who is to endure the manifestations of you declaring your macho qualities on public transportation. The story first ran on In the Now, a Russian English language social media channel, where it racked up more than 6.4 million views. In the Media Now is a media brand affiliated with Russia Today, which is owned by the Kremlin. It specializes in creating viral videos that are distributed globally, but the connection to the Russian government isn't often acknowledged. Yeah, I've actually been written about in Russia Today, which is very interesting that happened. So yeah, this whole thing was staged. The whole thing was fake. The whole thing was bullshit. I called it. And no one, and not a lot of people out there wanted to believe me. You can read the comments. A lot of people like, no, not real. Or it's totally real. She totally did it. That's so stupid. Everything about the video looked fake. Like I pointed out, look at all the empty spaces and everyone crowded around a certain avenue. Right? Like, look at that right there. And the guys are just watching her do it. Do you think that if she really poured water or bleach, like those dudes wouldn't like knock her the fuck out? It's Russia. The whole thing was just staged, and it's Russian propaganda created to fuck with the left. I have to give him credit. It works. But at the same time, this is why we have to ask questions. This is why people have to be skeptical. And no, I'm not saying I'm part of the skeptic community, but we have to ask questions, and that's everybody, and even me. I'll take things at face value that I probably shouldn't sometimes, based upon my own confirmation bias, and I acknowledge that. But again, when it's something like this is so reeked of being faked and overproduced that you would hope that a deaf mute person would just be like, "Oh, we're fake." They would get it right off the bat. They would just get it. But no, it was well designed. Because the way they put it together, and people were taken like a fool. And so at least now we know. And knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe, real American hero.